We took the decision to set up a Race Equality Commission by bringing together 12 people from the community who all put themselves forward, who are independent of the council, who could really ask all of the difficult questions.
So I think there's a moral imperative to do this work. I think we've seen for the last 70 plus years that for certain groups in our local authority and nationally, they aren't making the progress that their peers are making, and it's about ensuring that they are thriving. And I think what they should really be doing is, first of all, speaking with their community and understanding the community's needs, understanding the barriers and the challenges that they face.
To have people with real lived experience of the challenges that they face out in the community come to us and start the conversation as to the things that we need to change. To hold not just the council and political leaders and organisational leaders to account, but everybody.
We need every governor, every leader, every member of staff to play their part in our quest to improve outcomes and the life experience for all the groups that we serve here in Ealing. We know that due to systemic barriers, a disproportionate number of our Black Caribbean pupils achieve significantly less by the time they leave school than all other pupils in Ealing, as do children of white Black Caribbean heritage. We also know that these same groups are more likely to be persistently absent from school, they're more likely to be subject to suspensions, and they're more likely to be permanently excluded. The other group of pupils that we're focused on are our Somali pupils. They too do not achieve the same academic outcomes as all other pupils in Ealing. And we know that Somali pupils are more likely to be suspended and subject to permanent exclusions.
I think it's so important for schools to focus on race inequality. We think we know, but we really don't. The most important part was training, so that people really understood, and we listened and we talked and we learnt together.
At ELP, we have developed a bespoke programme of training and networks for school staff in order to help them to meet the demands of the Race Equality Commission. We've also commissioned bespoke support around areas of particular interest to schools, such as parental engagement and developing the curriculum. We've also developed a series of very specific training courses focusing on key areas such as developing effective responses to racist incidences and creating an anti-racist policy.
It's not just been about the students, it's about working with the parents of our students, which we've also had a great impact from. And actually, last year's data now suggests that we've actually improved our inclusion data for Black Caribbean students.
And we had a more in-depth conversation about my goals and why I wanted, and why those were my goals. And they helped me improve my revision schedule completely, and that resulted in my grades going up.
Routes to success have made me become more confident and contributing during lessons. It allows the students to talk in an environment where there are no teachers.
For me, it helped me decide to go to college because I found out that the information they provide catered more to me and what I want to do after my GCSEs.
Not everyone is brought up in a household where they will be shown what careers they can do, so it gives all students a chance to take part in whatever work they would like to.
It's time to show our communities that we are committed to this work and that we are going to dismantle those inequalities that have existed for such a very long time.
Black people have done amazing things throughout history, but have been completely blanked out. This is why in our school we have been making sure that we include Black people in fairy tales, books, non-fiction and so much more.
When I see books with Black girls on it, I feel like I'm included and the world likes me.
I grew up in England in school and there was no representation at all. So it's important that we are represented so that we can feel a part of society.
One of the protective characteristics is called race. This means that no matter where you're from or what skin colour you are, you should be treated equally and not face discrimination. I should be treated no differently to how Emily should be treated.
And I should not be treated differently to how Liam is treated. Did you know that England invited people from the Caribbean to come and rebuild England They were made fun of because of the colour of their skin, and they were treated very unequal.
We trained our staff, and we did it for many, many weeks and had many discussions. And staff will describe it as a very humbling experience, a very uncomfortable experience.
When he started doing some of the history lessons, he came home and was telling me, he was so excited, and he came and told me, you know, what he's been learning. Historically, we were around in the 1800s. You know, there were warriors and kings and queens. It's also very beneficial what the school is doing, that it's not, as black people, we already know. So sometimes it's for the other race to know, to be aware.
Growing up again, schools left out this part, major, like in a big way. So for our school to show children that, listen, you guys are represented here and also here, you know, it's eye-opening. We have more to speak about, and it's all good.
So change has happened with our learning, then to the children and the parents as well, and we've got our whole school community involved in this discussion.
More can be done, more hopefully will be done. I'm willing to play my part, as I'm sure other parents, and you can see it is slowly having an impact on the children. And I hope not just our children, but others, Asian children, European children, I really hope so as well.
Ultimately, we want every single member of staff to be an anti-racist educator.
As Malcolm X said, you tell a people they are nobody and you eventually believe it, you're going to think yourself as nobodies. And as the sisters were saying earlier, that is the Britain they grew up in. We don't want that Britain to continue with our children and grandchildren. We want the change.